He did it again, y'all. He went out. Here we go. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. So he got the wiggles again, man. That's the reason why you hopped off, because of the wiggles, bro. Man, he's got a nagging case of the wiggles, I guess. What's up, my man?
What's going on, doctor?
You seem tired, man.
I'm just tired. I'm just so tired of wasting my time with this show, bro. Wrestling is just, guys, wrestling as we knew it is dead. It is over. It is not coming back. You're never going to see it again. All you're going to see on every one of these shows is matches. That's it. That's all it is. I mean, it is what it is. Yep. You're not going to get any more stories. You're not going to get any more drama, cliffhangers, thought put into this show, anything to challenge you or to provoke you. You're just going to get match after match after match after match. Yep. And man, if that's what you like, man, people, if you are into fake fights, then good for you. This without a shadow of a doubt, WWE is the worst show on television. I can't even think of anything that I'm watching that is a close second. Like, seriously, even the show that they do with people singing those costumes. What's the name of that show, bro?
The Masked Singer.
Masked Singers or something. I would watch that 100 times before I would watch this show. This is awful, guys. And anybody that wants to argue with me, literally, bro, like literally, don't waste a second of my time. You got CM Punk in the house on a shit show, pardon my French, Chris, and you're going to use him the last 90 seconds of the show. That's how you're going to use him. CM Punk is there. You flew him in. He's been in catering all day. Yeah. And that's how Triple H is going to use him on this show. Then Chris, we have Jay Superkick Logan Paul in the first segment. We're going to Logan Paul and Jay on Saturday Night Main Event. Literally, my bulldog Penelope could have wrote for Logan Paul to come back at the end of the show, get his heat back on Jay Uso, going in. My bulldog could have wrote that. And my bulldog doesn't have a brain. He really doesn't have a brain. He could have wrote that, but not Triple H. Triple H ain't gonna write that.
As soon as I saw the super kick, I said, clear as day, Logan's going to get the heat before the night's over. And as soon as they did the Jay gimmick at the end where he's celebrating and they did the close up, I said, here it is, right here. It's clear. And as soon as boom, there's the hit, and it's like, man, this is the go home to Saturday Night's Main Event. And to your point, the go home and one of the biggest matches of the show.
Did Logan Paul come out?
Yeah, at the very end.
Oh, I turned it off. I was gone by then, bro.
Yeah.
See, but that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't even hang around to see that. So
Yeah.
what did they do that like at the last second?
At the very end. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's unbelievable, bro. They didn't do it before the credits.
They did it during the credits.
Yeah, I saw his name come up and I turned it off.
and that means a lot, Vince, because I guess that's right there says a whole lot, because you can't assume that everybody's going to stay into the very last second, especially if they have a reason to turn off. Jay's doing this thing at the end, and at the end, like, it's not going to have a lot of buzz like, oh man, you missed out. Logan Paul got the hit at the end, man. And it's not going to make somebody like, oh my gosh, let me rewind it. Like, that's not going to cause someone to go back. You just missed out.
I did, bro. And I'm telling you, the credits came on the screen, and I took my remote and I clicked it off.
Yeah. And if you did it, Vince, imagine who else did it.
Unbelievable.
I imagine you're not the only person who did that. The credits come on, okay, it's over with. It's just, this is the go home, Vince. The Saturday Night's Ready Fit. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I know that y'all have a lot of super chats.
Guys, please listen. Yeah. Seriously, guys, have a lot of super chats tonight, because I don't know what to talk about on this show. I really don't. Guys, there was a time, like right around the Sheamus Waller match. Guys, I'm not kidding you. I literally fell asleep 3 times in 35 minutes. I had to keep waking up, and I'm looking at my clock, and literally I swear to God, bro, the only thing worth talking about on this show was something that wasn't supposed to happen, and that's Zoe Stark getting hurt. That's really the only thing that warrants anything on this show, and unfortunate for her. Man, bro, I got to tell you, a lot of these women get hurt, Chris.
Yeah, dude.
These women are constantly getting hurt. Kari Zane came back. She was out hurt. What's her name just came back? Zoe Stark came back. She was hurt. Asuka's hurt. I mean, and again, how many times do we say these women are not built the same as men to be doing the same things? Men have more muscle mass. Men are bigger boned. Men's bodies can take it more and take the impact. We've been saying that forever. These women are constantly getting hurt, man.
And it's unfortunate, man, because I know a lot. And I think that this is a reasonable argument. A lot of the women feel like they have to do double as much to get the same reaction. You know what I mean? And that's the unfortunate part. That's the unfortunate part when it comes to pro wrestling. When it comes to a lot of things, to be honest with you, but when it comes to pro wrestling, they have to do double to get the same reaction. But the problem is they don't have the muscle mass. They don't have they don't have the structure to do double to get the same reaction. That's the reason why you have to scale it down. You have to do the less is more approach. You have to give us really good riveting stories that can take away the fact that you don't have to be as physical to get the same reaction. Evoke emotion. Give us that reaction. That doesn't require a lot of physical, doubling the physical, demand on that type of body. Someone like a Zoe Stark, very, very muscular, very athletic, but at the same time, it's like, there's still the capacity to do certain things just isn't there. Like for Dakota Kai, she kept getting injured. Tegan Knox, she kept getting injured. You know what I mean? Like the capacity to do those particular things.
Charlotte,
she's
the best one and one of the bigger ones of all the women, bro. And how often has Charlotte gotten hurt?
Exactly. I mean, and you have to understand that stuff just from a creative standpoint, from a booking standpoint. You can't say, okay, go out there and cook like the men do. Like that's not fair for them. I mean, yes, they can have a good match and things like that. But here's the thing. Liv Morgan, for instance, doesn't have to go and do double the work because she has a character that comes with her. She doesn't have to do something that requires a holy bleep or this is awesome. She had a character going in with the whole Dominic thing. And so that's the thing that really helps, and that helps a character. But if you go out there and try to like cook and do all that stuff and be just as athletic, man, that's unfortunate. It really is, man. And like I said, it's sad that they have to do double to get the same reaction. I sympathize with the women's division when it comes to that. But at the same time, don't set that up, from a match booking perspective to cause them to have to do that stuff, man. So
I agree.
All right, we got some super chats coming in. Keep them rolling. Again, I always say this. Whatever I can do to relieve Vince Russo as much as I can. I'm actually tired of talking. I'm not a big fan. It's funny, Vince, because I'm an ambivert by nature. And
who?
Ambivert.
What's that mean? You eat a lot of meat?
That's a carnivore.
Oh, okay. All right. What is an amber alert? What is an amber alert?
Well, the amber alert is definitely a lot more serious than being an ambivert. That's for sure. But ambivert is a combination between an introvert and extrovert. So
I never heard that before, Chris. As a shoot, I never heard that before.
I'm both. So I like to recharge alone. But at the same time, being a DJ and being a therapist and hosting parties and things like that, I can take enough extroverted energy, life of the party, but only for a little bit, and then I check out.
Yeah, right? No, I got you. Yeah, there were just some weird things about this show. That the opening segment with Logan Paul and Gunther. It just came across as very awkward. Yeah, there was no chemistry. And bro, I got to tell you, there was one spot on this show, Chris. I don't know if it jumped out at you, but when it was just Ripley and Kairi Sane in that ring, bro, there was zero reaction. It was almost, bro, I swear to God, it sounded like a tennis match.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these people are supposed to be such rabid fans, and they go to the show and we sing along and we do this. And Rhea Ripley, who definitely one of the top 3 female stars in the company, I'd say her, Charlotte, you could say Tiffy. I don't know if you want to put Becky in there, but Rhea Ripley is over zero. And I'm like, what's going on here?
Well, Vince, it goes to show what I just said. The characters is what matters. Soon as her theme song hit, huge,
right?
Humongous.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So they wanted to see her. They just lost interest when it came to the athleticism part of it.
Bro, break that out for me from a psychological standpoint, because what you said was absolutely correct. Huge pop. She comes out, and guys, listen, if you don't believe me, it's on Netflix. Go back and watch it. It was silence. So explain that to me, Chris.
Well, when you think about the fact that the crowd it goes back to those type of Carl Jungian type of archetypes of like people are getting excited about the hero of the story. But at the same time, if the story drags alone without the climax, people get lost in the interim. And so basically the finish, they're expecting because of this called serial position effect. And so people think about the beginning and the end. It's called a serial position effect. And so basically what happens is the beginning, huge pop, and she got a huge pop too. In the middle, if there's nothing that's there, there's no there, no substance, it becomes really forgettable. And that also lines in what's called primacy effect and primacy bias and recency bias too. But at the same time, it's like when it comes to that, if there's not any ebbs and flows, if there's not story, if there's not buy-in, and it's just matches for matches' sake,
Yeah.
We're always going to get those results because there's no buy-in to simply having a match. And because the ovation was so huge, that was the plateau. That I mean, that was as high. That was the ceiling.
That's like, man, that's like literally a Major League Baseball player walking up to the plate and the applause being louder for him walking to the plate than him hitting a home run because Rhea Ripley won the match.
Yes,
she won the match, but the biggest pop was the entrance.
Yep. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. That's nuts. That's nuts, bro.
And it can be used to her advantage. You know, that shows that Rhea Ripley's in need of a really good story to cause the ebbs and flows into the match to mean something. If there's no buy-in to that, why? Like, people just don't, I mean, it's clear. People and a lot of people at Greenfield was, you know, giving ovations for stuff, but at the same time, it's like the matches, you're just giving us matches that mean nothing. And from a psychological standpoint, people are trying their best to invest and and give us some buy-in, but if there's nothing that comes with that except for an announcement, there's nothing to buy into, even if you want to.
And Chris, here's the thing: like, guys, listen, I am not even there. I am just going by what I know and what I could create stories out of. And my God, it is so easy for Rhea Ripley. Buddy Murphy used to work there. Mm-hmm. They let him go. She could be bitter over that. She could keep questioning that. She could keep telling them, why don't you bring him back? And they can keep giving her the business. Well, he's working for another company. Oh, well, he would be working for another company. And she could start really getting, I mean, it's that simple. Yeah. Give her something. And guys, I can go through everybody on the roster and find that one little thing that you can give them. But Chris, that's why I said at the top of the show, I really believe all that is over. I really do. I think going forward, we're just going to get matches, bro. That's all we're going to get.
Absolutely, man. And that's what it's been. But guess what? If there was just some announcement that they did 13 million for the European trip, you know, just like chart-busting, another chart-busting, record-breaking announcement. They did record-breaking numbers in the European tour, 13 million gross. And so as long as they get those cha-ching, that money in, they don't care, Vince.
Yep.
Why do we have to put a lot of thought into storylines if we're going to get people to swipe their card anyways? Only thing we have to do is just put matches together. Oh, great. That's fantastic. You still get $500,000 from Netflix a year? Oh, great.
That's I really think, my God, this new Unreal show at Netflix, if we're going to see the behind the scenes of these shows, you're going to look like a bunch of idiots sitting in that room. I mean, seriously, like, my God, I would pay anything to have seen, you know, Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David, you know, write episodes of Seinfeld. Oh, my God. This boardroom are going to look like a bunch of absolute idiots if you come up with nothing on a weekly basis.
100%. Exactly. And it's crazy, man, because you have to think about the Unreal series. Like, if it's going to show how much whatever they get into as far as showing different things, I don't know how much they're going to get into as far as like pitches that were like denied or anything like that. But the crazy thing is, if what we see is the finished product of that Unreal, you know, conference room where all the people were suited, you know, all the suits and ties are talking, this is what we get at the end of those types of meetings. Man, it's like, what else is there to talk about and figure out, man?
Bro, you could have, I swear to God, Chris, guys, I'm sitting here, I'm talking to the doctor. This thought literally pops in my head like 5 seconds ago. This could have been your show tonight, Okay, bro. You open up the show with Paul and Punk, not Punk, Paul and Braun and what's his face? Seth.
Mhm.
Paul excuses himself, goes into the John. Okay. Punk is in one of the stalls.
Yep.
Okay. Punk freaking kidnaps Paul Heyman, takes him in the bowels of the building, mentally tortures him throughout the entire show, mentally picks him apart.
Yep.
Bro, Heyman's supposed to be so great. This is a great opportunity for him. You do that throughout the entire show. Now Breaker and Rollins know he's missing. Now they're looking for him. They think they found him. Oh, it's not him, it's Sammy. I mean, there's a fight. That could have been the basis of your entire show. Simple, very simple. What do you have, bro? The last 90 seconds of the show, CM Punk comes out.
He's been there all night. Even if you do the 90-second deal, you could have at least had Sammy, calling, being on the phone, and then
the limo shows up, the limo, the truck, the
truck,
souped up truck, whatever show.
The black truck shows up, CM Punk hurries up, slams the door, runs in, then the music comes out. But as far as your idea is concerned, I think that makes more sense because it gives us a thread throughout the show.
Yep.
One, and then two, I think it's very, very clear that the heels are going over on, Saturday. At least that's my prediction based on the babies getting the upper hand at the end of the show. So if you know that the heels are going over, why don't you have Punk torture Paul throughout the night? If you know that if you're trying to protect Punk after the tag match, okay, well, there's your opportunity to continue to protect Punk, because it shows that there's still a story that can be weaved into that instead of just a simple, oh, Sammy's coming out to save Jay. Oh, guess what? But it's a win for WWE. Why? Because they got the pop. Because people were chanting CM Punk.
Yep.
CM Punk comes out. Pop comes out. Oh, that's a win for the show. We did what we were supposed to do, and that's
Bro,
it.
I swear to God, I'm sitting there and they start chanting CM Punk. Bro, I had forgotten he was even on the roster. Because I'm saying to myself, bro, you're going to have Outback Jack and Sheamus on the show when you got CM Punk sitting in the back?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, really?
Yeah, 100%, man. And it was such a nothing match between.
Oh, please, bro.
And,
please.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of that, man, let's get through this this card tonight. Logan Paul. We'll get to the super chats at the end. See that you all are still loading them up. So great job on that. Logan Paul cutting a in-ring promo, interrupted by Gunther. Jay Uso super kicks Logan Paul following the exchange between Logan and Gunther. What do you say about Gunther's spot right now, lady?
I'm just saying, bro, if Jay Uso goes over on Saturday, and keep in mind, bro, they know who's going over on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So they could basically be writing this knowing Jay Uso is going over on Saturday. And if Jay Uso goes over on Saturday, bro, this entire segment was meaningless.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be Logan Paul and Gunther. And they know that writing this. Just keep that in the back of your mind. If Jay goes over, this entire first segment is absolutely meaningless, and they know it when they're writing it.
And I think they did that because they wanted it to kind of sleight of hand, distract, red herring type of deal. But at the same time, it's like, man, why waste these types of segments? Why even have Gunther be, a part of it? Why don't you have Gunther attack Jay at the very end, or do something like that, or win a tournament? Why don't you have, a number one contenders tournament, leading into Saturday night's main event, and have the final match be, Gunther, triple threat, or finals, who else? Have that be at Saturday night's main event. Have Gunther work his way up instead of saying, okay, cool, you get a rematch, and then now it's basically telegraphed. We know who's going to win, because Gunther's coming out. It's like, okay, now at this moment, we're like, okay, Gunther won, so we think Jay's going to win, but it's still too close to Saturday Night's Main Event to really spend the time to process that. Yeah. But you had several weeks to process the fact that Jay's going to win.
I love this one. I love this one, Chris, because they pulled it out their backside, just like we said. They did the whole stunt with the truth so Cena could have an appointment at Saturday Night's Main Event. I said it as soon as it was over. But here's the part that I love. This is the part that cracks me up, Chris. They're making it a non-title match to make us believe that truth's going to go over. No. Like, that's why they're doing it, bro, because if it's a title match, no way, But if it's a non-title match, truth may go. They really believe people are that stupid and ignorant, bro.
I'm wondering, it'll be interesting. I would love to talk to some people from like, I don't even know who I would talk to. I've got a lot of good relationships from people in WWE, but I haven't talked to anybody when it comes to like asking who's like their. So the target demo is usually the 18 to 34, crowd. That's usually the target demo. But at the same time, I've never asked anybody questions of like, what type of like intellectual level are you writing these shows for? Because at the end of the day, it's like the mystique, the mystery, the ebbs, the flows, the stories, that's not included. So that's not like, you're not reading like a comic book to really get into the story and really follow where it leads you. It's just like, hey, fight scene here on page 3, fight scene page 6, fight scene page 7, fight scene page 9, fight scene page 12, comic book over. So it's like I'm not really getting into this comic book if there's just fight scenes all the time. And it just makes me wonder, like what you just said, Vince. It's like, do they already know? Like, do they already assume that the level of intellect is low to do something like that, to put a Gunther out with the Logan Paul, to do a non-title match? Who are you booking to think that like your audience is that intellectually inferior?
Bro, I'm going to be honest with you, Chris. Those making these decisions, I don't think they're much smarter than that.
Really?
We're talking, bro, they're all in the wrestling bubble. Whether you're a mark or whether you're writing this show, you are in the bubble.
Yeah.
So I don't know if their intellect is that much higher than the people watching the show.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hard to argue. I mean, I don't think that there's really a strong argument.
I mean, I can remember, man. I can remember one episode of Raw, the end of the show, bro. We literally went outside the building, tore the cover off a manhole, and shoved Paul Bearer's fat backside in the manhole as a shoot. We put him down there. Mm-hmm. Bro, you could have done that with CM Punk at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Drag Heyman outside and throw him down a manhole, follow him down there, and then we go to a deep, dark bowel of a building or something. Because, bro, I know that Heyman, when we had Uso in the ring, he gave us the whole explanation of why he turned on Jay Uso with the bloodline and all that.
Yep.
Did we ever get a Punk explanation?
He mentioned it in that promo where he was, seemed like he was about to pass out. But like he mentioned something about Punk. I think it was either that or some interview. The very fact that I don't remember is an
That's
issue.
what I'm talking about. That you've got to tell that story. Absolutely. I mean, all Punk's got to do is get him down there and say, "Why, Paul? I want to know why." I mean, and then that's drama, man. That is real drama. I'm watching that. I'm interested in that. Yeah. But it's like you said, Chris. The checks cashed. None of that matter. Why are we going to go through that? There's no reason to go through any of that.
That's correct. Vince, you want to talk about cost cutting to fill up the executives' pockets, right? Like if you think about that, what's the use of having a budget on B-roll footage if we can just literally book matches for the same or more amount of money? So in their mind, they're like, cool, yeah, we'll just not spend money on B-roll footage and riveting television outside of the arena. Or there's no need to spend money on that if we can just book a match and get the same type of reaction from the live crowd. The viewers, I mean, we see that week by week. That doesn't matter, right? Like what matters is swelling up the ticket prices. We already getting $500,000 a year from Netflix. We're already getting the deal with USA. I mean, with SmackDown. We're already getting the European. We already cast that, put that check in the bank. We're already getting all the deals when it comes to getting tickets for Saturday Night's Main Event, getting tickets for Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank in just a few weeks. 2 events in one day, 6 hours already paid for.
We got 12. We got 12 sponsors on the mat.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all paying. They're
paying exactly. So there's no need to make it a riveting television show.
And let me tell you what the need is, guys. Let me tell you what the need. The need is pride. Because I got to tell you something, man. If this were me, no way, no how would I allow them to put my name at the end of this show.
Yeah.
Triple H is literally taking credit for what you're seeing. I would never put my name on a show like this, ever.
Vince, a lot of times the unfortunate part is you can compare this to like the NFL, right? So you have different franchise owners that are just, they're billionaires. So they've already, cast their checks. They're already getting their, television deals. They're already got, certain things, and they're owners. And so basically what they're doing, they're casting the blame on the management team. The managers are basically their scapegoat. The coaches are basically their scapegoats. So a lot of like the Browns, for instance, as an Ohioan, the Browns suck. They absolutely suck. I'm not a Browns fan, but I support Ohio teams. The Browns suck. They have never won a Super Bowl. They haven't been, they've had a couple of, years. Flacco a few years ago made it to the playoffs a couple years ago. Signed him back, by the way, but before like Jim Brown era, that was like in the early 60s. They won an NFL championship, but never won a Super Bowl. But hey, guess what? The owners cashing in this check. And so guess what happens? When they don't win a Super Bowl, they just go through a string of coaches.
Yep.
Every other year, coach after coach after coach. It's the coach's fault. No, it's the owner's fault for having that type of personnel that that you want to underpay to basically scapegoat them as the ones who are causing these teams not to do the work. Okay, change your cap. Sacrifice some stuff. What you need to do is, if you want to have a good team and build a good legacy, that's what good teams care about. Yeah. They care about legacies. There's 2 franchise owners that can make the same amount of money for NFL teams, but one is willing to spend more money because they want legacy. Steinbrenner is willing to spend more money because the Yankees are so huge, right? Like they want to leave legacies. And guess what? They don't want to get to the point of, I'm cashing in checks. I don't have to worry about the Yankees legacy anymore. No, I bet you won't. Just be cashing checks. You will get an onslaught of fans saying, this sucks. This isn't what we're used to. Do something about it, right? But you don't have that with wrestling fans. You don't have this sucks. We're not used to this. Do something about it. It's, this is awesome. Holy blank. Pop, pop, pop. That's basically what you're getting. So you're feeding those executives to keep doing what they're doing. That's like Browns fans getting excited about the Browns. Right?
You know what's amazing, Chris, that you just said? Here's what's amazing to me. You know, in the offseason, the Giants got rid of the GM and they brought in Buster Posey. Now, keep in mind, Buster Posey was on 3 World Series champions for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
And, bro, every interview I saw Buster give, bro, I swear to God, he brought up legacy in every single interview. And guess what, guys? We are about 40 games into the season. The Giants, who have been 500 for the last 3 years, all of a sudden they're 10 games over 500. And I swear to God, Chris, that's all he talked about. Legacy, tradition, who we are. Think about that. Think about that, Triple H. Going back to Vince Sr. Who are you? What is the legacy? What is the tradition? This isn't the tradition. This is crap, bro. This is the poop emoji. That's what this is, not tradition. This is hot garbage. But you are so dead on, Chris, when you go back to who are we? What got us here? What do people expect from us? Now you got a whole different attitude. When you're just grabbing dollars, Chris, is what you got.
Yep.
That's
exactly.
It. That's what you got, guys.
Exactly. And then you have fans who are buying into this poo-poo, right?
Yep.
Like they're saying this is awesome to poop emojis. Like it smells like poop, and they're like, it smells like roses. The holy poop emoji, right? Like that's essentially what they're doing. But guess what? As long as you have the fans who are Browns fans, they suck. As long as you have them continue to say this is amazing, why change?
It's like you guys know for a fact when CM Punk, and they hit Punk's music, here he comes for 90 minutes. Meanwhile, we paid God knows what for these tickets. We're sitting here for 2.5 hours. Not one of those people is going to say, wait a minute, Punk was in the back all day, and we get not one person's going to say that. That's the first thing I said. This guy's sitting in the back, and you're giving me him for 90 seconds?
Yep.
Bro, that's like not starting Barry Bonds and bringing him into pitch hit. That's what that's like. Who does that, bro?
It's a fantastic example. Fantastic. All right, we got Paul Heyman talking to Jay Uso backstage. So we get Finn Balor and Jamie McDonough defeating Penta and AJ Styles because of El Grande Americana headbutting Penta.
Guys, I want you to think about and go back and watch. Think about the first 3 appearances of Penta. Remember the first 3 appearances, bro? The entrance, he was unbeatable. They were putting him on every single week. Now I believe this is the second time that they job Penta out to, Finn Balor, who has not had any heat on him. I can't even tell you the last time Finn Balor had any heat on him. But Penta, who they brought in with a bang, is now jobbing to Finn Balor. Why?
It makes me think, Vince. I mean, are we still experiencing the Rideback Effect before our very eyes, man? Is it still that same philosophy?
There's nothing else to explain it, Chris. There's nothing else to explain it. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. We have Io Sky backstage interview interrupted by Becky Lynch. She walks out to the ring. We get a backstage segment with Seth Rollins approaching and talking to Logan Paul. Then we get Roxan Perez defeating Natalya and Becky Lynch because Lyra attacking Becky Lynch during the match. That causes Roxanne to get the pin on Natalya.
I'm just looking at this Rosie Perez, and I'm like, she's like every other female wrestler I've seen for the last 3 years. I mean, there's no character. I mean, there's absolutely nothing there. And oh my God, that's going to be the big story. She's going to be in the clubhouse, and then Liv is going to come back in 4 weeks when she's done shooting her movie. That's the big story. And Liv's going to say, what is she doing here? And then Liv and Rosie are going to have an angle. Ooh, that's it, God. Like, that's it. That's the most you're going to get. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, instead of really focusing on the main event and getting us excited about, the big matches on Sunday night's main event, instead we get time of saying, hey, well, Roxan Perez just a new signee, and they show her signing a contract, and then they have her having a reaction at the end and actually giving her, winning the Money in the Bank contract. It reminds me a lot of like these we said this before, these NXT people, man. There's something about Triple H and Shawn Michaels, man. They're like, hey, let's go ahead and forecast and broadcast NXT to the bigger picture, and that's what we're getting every week, man. They're assuming that people know who these people are without even giving us backstory. From what I remember, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Vince, she has not gotten any like vignettes. Maybe one, maybe.
I don't think she got it.
I don't recall any, like, to even show who she is, right? Like, who is Roxan Perez and why do I care? Yeah. Otherwise, again, you're looking for the house. Okay, about a third of these people know, but maybe 50% of these people know who Roxan Perez is. Oh, that's good enough. That's good enough. And so it's like, again, legacy, Vince. Legacy.
You know what's so funny, Chris? I was just on Sunday. It was Sunday yesterday. Yeah. I was just watching Attitude Era episode to promote. Bro, do you know what they were promoting?
What's that?
Bro, there were 4 different TV guide covers. Austin was on one, Sable was on one, Mick was on one, and The Rock was on one. Bro, TV Guide was freaking huge.
Oh, yeah.
And they had 4 separate covers of the You think Rosie Perez is going to be appearing on a TV Guide anytime soon, bro?
No.
Or Lyra Velcro? Or should we go up and down like, man, bro? And there's a pattern too, Chris, when you just talk about the Ryback effect. There's a pattern. How many times, bro, have we seen them put the belt on somebody, take the belt off of somebody, and then once the belt is off them, rather than rebuild them, we continue to beat them. Bro, they did that with the Motor City Machine Guns. They did that with the Viking Warriors. Guess who they did that with on SmackDown on Friday?
Who's that?
Chelsea Green. Chelsea loses the belt, and the next week she's losing again. That's how we get you here, and now we're gonna bring you right back to there.
Who did she lose to?
Oh my God, Chris! It was a nobody. I can't even remember who it was. I can't even remember who it was.
I'm sure the SK Nation knows.
I might be able to say if I look at my notes. Well, go ahead. I'll look at my notes and see.
Let's see. We have Jay Uso and Sami Zayn backstage. Then we get to Kira Tozawa with Maxine Dupree asking for a match against Rusev. Adam Pearce gets it granted. Chad Gable with Ivy Nile comes in. Chad Gable wants Randy Bank opportunity for him and Nile. And then New Day comes in and talks to him.
Yeah.
You find it?
I'm looking. I don't. God, why can't I find
Someone's asking, was it Alexa Bliss? Bliss.
It might have been. It might have been Alexa Bliss. It might have been.
People say Bliss and Money in the Bank.
It was Alexa Bliss. Yeah, it was Alexa Bliss. But that's the thing. We talked about this, bro. Usually when you took a belt off of somebody, they're win again, wanting that rematch. We got to get back in. Now here, somebody loses the belt. They automatically beat them, send them right back to the back of the line. So all the build you did to get them there, now you just erased it all and you're starting all over again.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, you made the decision to book Chelsea Green against Alexa Bliss in a Money in the Bank qualifier match. You could have easily had Chelsea Green go against someone else and actually win to be in the Money in the Bank qualifier. Especially, didn't she become like really over by having that ladder spot at a previous Money in the Bank spot? Why would they not give her the momentum of having another possible ladder spot like what got her over in the previous Money in the Bank match? Just squelch that. Unless they do like a second chance thing that they do with a lot of these things and she wins. But other than that, man, they're once again squelching and stepping on momentum again, just like they do all the time. We have
Chris, think about this for a second. It was a three-way, okay? It was My Chin, K-Fab, and no. Yeah, it was My Chin or K. I thought it was a three-way. Yeah. It was Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, and Michin.
Okay.
How much more interesting would it have been if it would have been Chelsea Green and her two bodyguards? would that have not been a much better? And what story could we have gotten out of that? But no, we beat Alexa, we beat Chelsea, and now we got nothing.
Yeah. And do you think it should be? Do you think it should be some rhyme or reason in these matches too? Like, why can't they just, like, to me, I'm thinking like nuance. Give me something. Like, why don't it be like a backstage? You have a bunch of people in line and they pick, and it's like a lottery type of deal.
Yeah,
and they pick
absolutely.
a number, they pick a ball. And there's like three sets of numbers, and like the 3 1s go against each other, the 3 2s go against each other, the 3 3s, and then somehow you have Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and the other person. They all somehow pick the same number, and that causes them to go against each other.
Chris, I remember to this day how great it was. Remember when WCW did the Lethal Lottery?
Oh, yeah.
And they had the camera in the locker rooms.
Yep.
They had the heel locker room and the babyface locker room. And then right then and there, they told you who you and your partner was. So if it was a babyface and a heel, that was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. But there's just zero thought put into anything. I mean, there's no thought put into anything, man.
Yep. They just schedule matches. I mean, give us something. Give us a reason why. Why are these two people? Why are these three people chosen to go against each other? Like, what's the rhyme or reason? Like, is that an unreal episode? Like, let's figure out why they're scheduling Money in the Bank matches and they're arguing over that it should be this person or it should be this. What are we doing, man? Give us some type of reason of why these people are booked against each other. Otherwise, again, it's just matches. Just matches for matches' sake. We have Kiro Tozawa. We got that. Sheamus and Grayson Waller. We talked about that already. Therese Halliburton interview. Gunther backstage, interrupted by Seth Rollins. You can stop me anytime. I'm just gonna
No. Go ahead.
Rhea Ripley defeating Kairi Sane and Zoe Stark.
Yeah.
Now, what exactly happened with Zoe?
Oh man, bro, I think she went to give a missile drop kick off the top, and I think Kairi Sane was too far away, and she went down like a ton of bricks, man, screaming like she's out. I mean, she's gonna be out for probably a year. And that's God, I hate that stuff, man. Because you guys got to understand, man, these people have shelf lives, man. And when a chunk of time is taken out, it's horrible. It's horrible. But yeah, bro, it was a pretty serious knee injury.
And it sucks for her, man, because she's already like 1 foot out the door as far as what we've been seeing with the other two people from Pure Fusion Collective released. And she's like,
bro,
I don't know where to go.
Bro, as soon as I saw this injury, I'm like, she that's it. Like exactly what you said. Bro, if they cut Shayna Baszler was more valuable than Zoe Starks. I mean, without a question of a doubt. this injury, man, then they're not going to bring her back.
Yeah, it's sad to see, man. It's really. I mean, I can't imagine. Like, and I can't imagine what she's going through, and I can't imagine to an extent the thoughts that she's having as far as just the stress, the intense level of stress, and just wow, like coulda, shoulda, woulda. She probably was thinking of 1,000 other alternative ways of what could have happened this match, and I'm sure she's going like, man, this is it.
But I just got to tell you, Chris, with what you just said, I don't think people understand the stress level of keeping your spot there. And I just got to tell you, Chris, man, at the end of the day, I don't know if it's worth it. I really don't, because Chris, you can tell us, like, bro, stress will take years off of your life. Absolutely. It will literally take years, and every single one of them, because you got to understand, this was her first match in a long time. And like Chris said, in the interim, this one was let go and that one was let go. And all she's out, she's literally out there fighting for her job.
Yes.
So she's going to hold nothing back. Exactly. Nothing. Yeah. And then something like this happens, and it's like, Jesus, bro, at what point is it not worth it?
Yeah, exactly, man. I really wish the best for her, man. I really wish the best as far, if she does get let go, there's a really good chance that she will. Unfortunately, man, I wish the best for her. And hey, like, she's super athletic, man. You know what I mean? Why not shoot fight? Why not do like UFC or MMA or something to that nature? Why not have her own fitness, line? Why not have those types of impressions and those types of branding when it comes to like fitness or something on YouTube and that type of vein? Man, do something, do something else. I think she would fit pretty good in MMA. I think that she could be a killer in MMA, man, because she has the athleticism, she has a look to just reinvent her career completely. And then guess what? That's going to increase her stock and her value. And guess what, man? She reinvents herself in an MMA, man. If WWE wants her back, those negotiations and those zeros at the end of those numbers are going to be a lot more when it comes to reinventing ourselves. So I really wish, and I don't want, like, honestly, man, I'm not really big. Like, don't do like a bunch of indie stuff and try to like reestablish yourself with that. Like, a lot of these other people do. They are able to do it because they've been around for a while and they established themselves, like a Matt Cardona or something like that. He's established himself for quite some time. But Zoe Stark never really established herself, in the WWE a lot. And so I think she has to go away from wrestling for a while, establish herself, even in an actress role. I think that, if she gets herself like as a big bad villain or female police officer in some big role or something like that, I think those are the type of things that she should and can do to earn her stock, man, increase her stock. Hopefully she does that. We have what's next, man?
We got a Rusev vignette. We got Rosie Perez in the clubhouse, and then we've got our main event.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. And so,
which I can't believe they did Logan Paul after they ran the credits. I can't believe it. That is unbelievable, man.
Exactly. All right, let's get to these super chats, man. We got through the card. Let's start with, let's see here. We got Shatsa Palat, 199. Zoe starts getting cut first, Sonya, then Shayna. Yeah, that's what we were saying. Like, she was fighting for a job. I mean, WWE never really gave her an opportunity to shine, the way that she could have. NXT, from what I've recall, NXT, they gave her more love in NXT. But as far as the main roster, she's another person came from NXT main roster, didn't really do much, man.
Yep.
So it's becoming a list of those people. Angel Lucia, $10 Canadian. Vince, according to reports, it looks like it's going to be Randy versus Aldis for SummerSlam. Orton is pushing for the match. How would you book that feud? Also good for Nick if he gets that opportunity.
Man, I know Orton was pushing for that match at WrestleMania. I know Orton wanted that match at WrestleMania. You know, bro, here's the funny thing about it. From what I understand, they gave Nick that role backstage because they told him he was too old and he needed to transition into a mentor. And bro, the dude's 37 years old. I mean, give me a freaking break. Nick Aldis has at least 5 good years left in him. So if I'm going to do something with Nick Aldis and Orton, it is going to be a program and it is going to be a story and we are going to build it. But WWE doesn't build stuff these days, man. It's a quick fix. It's a 2-week decision. It's make the match and we'll see what happens.
Aldis is an agent now, isn't he?
No, he's the commissioner.
Right, but I think he's an agent backstage.
Yeah, I think he does some work, helps out. I don't think he's a bona fide, but I think he helps out in certain areas.
Yeah, I think it's Main Event or one of those shows. He does some agent work for. So if I'm not mistaken.
He's a smart dude, man. He's a smart dude. He's a smart. That's why Randy wants to work with him.
We got Awesome Sauce $2. Al Snow's voice sounds like he's talking to a fan.
Al, just so you know, Awesome Sauce, Al Snow's voice got messed up by COVID. I don't know if people know that he got COVID really bad, and that's how he came out talking from COVID. He never has spoken the same since he got COVID.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Steve, $5. Coach trying to compete with y'all. He's a true heel. Told him I would catch the replay behind the turnbuckle. I think that's TV, right? Turnbuckle. Said to tell Vinny Rue hello. P.S. Raw sucks. Yeah. Coach cutting some heel promos now.
Yeah, no, he does a what Steve is saying is he does an after show too, right after Raw.
Oh, does he? Oh, okay, got you. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Shots of Palat 199. I see Lee. It clicked off as well. Traffic Jam $2. Gunther is being wasted in WWE's mediocre nerds.
Yep, I agree with that.
Man, sadly. Anna, 1999. Thank you. Vince, they can't keep viewers glued from their first segment tonight. Logan Paul couldn't keep me maybe
turned it off. Look at that.
I turned it off. Wrestling has never been this bad. Just bring Vince the lawsuit.
That's what I'm saying, Anna. If it would have started with a, CM Punk kidnapping of a Paul Heyman or something, now they got you hooked, and they're going to thread that throughout the show, and that's what real writers will do for you, and I think that's what they lack.
Indeed. Otis 499. Do you think Netflix regrets signing 5 years with WWE? Hopefully, Netflix has an early opt-out clause. What do you think they're thinking, man?
Well, Otis, I was watching tonight's show and I'm like, bro, there's no way Netflix is going to be happy with this. I was saying it while I was watching the show. I was literally thinking for Netflix, Otis, every contract has a loophole. Every contract has a loophole. So I definitely think that there is an out clause for them if they want it.
Let me ask you this. When WWE is touting these record numbers and all these things, is that a subtle pitch to extend the Netflix contract? Like we did 13, we grossed 13 million in the European tour. See, this is the people and the revenue, and this is what we can bring to the table. So this is a pitch to basically renew our contract. Do you think touting all those numbers basically is subtly telling Netflix to renew us?
Bro, I think they're touting all those numbers to Netflix, but I think all Netflix cares about is Netflix. I mean, I'm being honest with you. I mean, if I paid that kind of money and we have expectations and they're not delivering those expectations, I could care less what else you're doing. I think Netflix is just concerned with Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix, just like any other season, they cancel seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like this, so, yeah,
absolutely they do. Yeah.
So it's not like WWE is like invincible when it comes to that. If a season's if they buy a episodic television series and it's not delivering, okay, after 2 seasons canceled. So we'll see. But guess what though? USA will be ready for them.
Oh, God, you'll have a line. You'll have a line, bro.
Absolutely. Yep. Traffic Jam, $2. Vince, how would you book Gunther after WrestleMania? How would you book Gunther after WrestleMania?
Yeah, I would have never been in that position, Traffic Jam, because I would have never let Sami Zayn beat Gunther. So I'm not even going to talk about how I would have booked Gunther after that, because as far as I'm concerned, when you have a guy like Sami Zayn being Gunther, Gunther's dead. So I'm not even going to think about what I would have done after that. To me, when I saw that, it was game over.
Black Note 718. I must admit the women's matches are really bad now. Becky calling Roxanne for the spot was crazy.
Yeah, you could see a lot of that in their matches, man. What was it the other day? I was seeing a lot of that. Oh, yeah, SmackDown. It was Nia Jax and Tiffy, and you saw them talking so much during that match, really? Man. Yeah.
We got Ronnie, $25. I think that's Australian, if I'm not mistaken. Remember when WWE insisted that they tell stories? Now their stories consist of 3 things. A qualifier, a wrestler qualifies for a title shot. 2, a wrestler A attacks wrestler B. And 3, someone is in a stable and eventually turns. Yeah. And unfortunately, I was thinking about that, Vince. A lot of what we see with these episodic television shows, the matches are literally formed from either in-ring promos or backstage.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. There's nothing that comes from that.
This is how I describe it all the time. It's like all these people live separate lives all over the country in their own little world all week long. Then once a week, they all gather to a building just to fight. And everything that is a part of who they really are and where they're from and what they're all about does not exist. Yeah. It's literally 15 fighters showing up at a building, all wanting to prove that they're the best fake fighter. That's what the show is. There's no more meat to it than that. None.
Imagine a Marvel or a DC movie having that same type of mindset.
Yeah, imagine it. Imagine the Hulk. The Hulk doesn't have a personality. Iron Man doesn't have a personality. Imagine that. Yeah.
Like you can't imagine Iron Man movie feeling like there's just a bunch of people coming to fulfill their obligations as actors. You know what I mean? Like that's horrible.
Bro, we say it all the time. This is if we would have gotten the last 15 minutes of Rocky, if we would have gotten just a boxing match, that's what this is. Right. You would have never known the characters. You would have never known the build. You would have never known the story. You would have just got the fight. That's what this is every single week.
Yep. We have Michael Gavin Ali show, $10. So choose not watching Raw because it's became a chore. Raw was a lot better 25 years ago after Vince left. My other question: should Jim Ross retire from his health issues and now having colon cancer?
Yeah, I don't know, Michael, if JR is going to have a choice, man. I know that this is a tough one. This is serious. So I don't think he's even thinking about that right now, man. He just needs to get through this. We all need to say a little prayer for JR. Yeah. But I think, that's probably the last thing on his mind right now.
Yeah, I say a big prayer for him for sure, man. I definitely prayed for him when I found out about that. I really hope. unfortunately, a lot of times neurologically, your body shuts down when it's not very active. When you have these types of conditions, whether either cancer or some type of neurological. So maybe he's pitching, hey, I want to stay active. I want to stay active. There's just certain things that your body just can't handle after a certain time that you don't want to travel, you don't want to do certain things, and I definitely understand that. So I think it really depends on what the experts say, and is he lobbying to stay in AEW. So we don't know that. Maybe the doctors will say, hey, limited schedule, super limited basis, and maybe he's like, look, I can't imagine myself staying home just doing nothing. I don't want to do that mentally. I want to keep working. I want to keep churning, doing something. So there could be a lot of different, scenarios with this. We don't know. And so the only thing we can do is just wish the best for him. All right, let's see here. We got Hannibal, $10. Vince, you tore them a new one the past 2 weeks on your show, and I'm here for it. They should be embarrassed. You gave them the blueprint on writing, and I guarantee they still don't get it.
Yeah.
Tore them a new one. Would you, and in what ways, Vince? How'd you tear them a new one?
Just these are bad shows, man. They're bad shows. They're lazy. They're very, very lazy shows. I literally, guys, I get pissed off that I gotta watch these shows. I really do. And man, there are some shows that I'll watch, like series on Netflix and stuff. Chris, you know it's a good show, bro, when it's like 10 episodes and you're literally got one eye open and you fall asleep for 5 minutes, you wake up, you rewind, you watch it. That's when you know something is good. And I do that with a lot of shows. I literally get pissed off watching these shows because it's just a massive waste of time. And it really, really makes me mad. And I'm really in a foul mood after I watch these shows. I feel like an absolute idiot after I watch these shows.
We got Black Notes, $2. Outback Jack, nice one. Yes. Corey Jackson, $9.99. I've been to several house shows. Raw is just a televised house show. I want so badly to enjoy wrestling again. Stories was how characters were featured in the Attitude Era. Now it's 50-50 worthless matches. Spot on.
Yes, it
absolutely. Yep. Corey Jackson, $4.99. Vince, the Triple H like how the shows were written back in the day. Why has he gotten so far off from the blueprint of Attitude Era writing?
Well, I say this all the time, Corey. He's not a writer. He's got no experience writing. He doesn't have a degree in writing. Plus, he's a wrestler, so he's looking at everything from a wrestling perspective. Plus, he's got a billion other things on his plate, man. This isn't the only thing that he's concentrating on, man.
Exactly. Vince, let me ask you this. So when you think of Triple H's career, what's one of the biggest things that stand out? One of the biggest moments of Triple H's career, not as a singles, but total, completely. I ask you this question because one stands out for me, and I'm wondering.
Well, tell me what it is, because I don't have one that stands out for me. But you also got to understand, during Triple H's greatest run, I wasn't watching the product.
So that's why I said it doesn't have to be singles. I would say the DX invasion of WCW.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
And that goes to show that, I mean, McMahon Hemsley era too, the wedding scene where he gets married, Tess is there, Tess is at the wedding, inside the arena, Triple H goes out, and he basically has like she was affected somehow. I don't know if she was drugged out, maybe. Stephanie McMahon marrying her. Both of those were video scenes outside of the ring.
Absolutely. Yep.
And so you have two moments that stands out the most with Triple H. and he benefited from them. He benefited from the DX segment because it was so pivotal to the Monday Night Wars. He benefited from the Stephanie McMahon segment because that was like the advent of the McMahon-Hemsley era, which he became a main event star. Why can't you understand the fact that two pivotal moments of your career were video B-roll outside of the arena moments? Why can't you understand that this is how stars were made, not with like match. It's two pivotal moments that had something to do with your career that launched so much of your career were outside of the ring.
It's just hard to comprehend. It really is, Chris. It is.
Yeah. We have Awesome Sauce $5. Vince, you talked about WWE needing to make R-Truth more serious. Cena should beat up Road Dogg, and Ron takes it personal because of 3 Live Crew. Now it's real.
Oh, there's a million things like that you can do, Awesome Sauce. But, you know, they made the match in 2 weeks, so there's no meat on the bone. So now Cena's going to get a lot of heat on R-Truth because that's how they think they're going to get heat on Cena. There's a lot they could have done to make this more interesting.
For sure. Absolutely. Let's see here. We have Who's Dad? $5. Do you guys think Ari Emanuel will ever replace both Rock and Triple H? I doubt the Rock is.
No, he doesn't know anything about wrestling.
Yeah. Let's see here. We have Benjamin Allen 199. I could afford tickets when Mr. McMahon was there.
Yeah.
Ronnie, $5. WWE is coming back to Perth in October. Last time ticket deposits cost. There's deposits for tickets now. Cost $400. First 25 road tickets cost $1,500. The marks deserve to be.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't comprehend that, man. I cannot comprehend that. I'm sorry.
But then they'll buy it, and then they'll say, "Hey, we got a record gate and all that jazz."
Yep.
Chris Torres, $10. A year from now, could you guys see yourselves reviewing anything other than Raw? I feel like your wisdom and talents will be much better suited reviewing a show you actually enjoy, not wrestling. That's a really
I would love that. I mean, I would definitely love that. Like I said, Chris, I just feel like an idiot watching these shows. I just really do. I would love to be able to do something like that with something that challenges us.
I think our Riding with Russo shows are really cool because you asked me a lot of we've talked about this online, man. You really want me to you like it when I get nerd out from psychology stuff, and so I really enjoy those because it's more like topical discussions and less having to watch Raw for so much. Both of us, the pay is good for this, and so we're grateful for that opportunity. But when it comes to just kind of churning our brains and churning our thoughts, I enjoy kind of those topical discussions when it comes to this. So I think stuff like that will still it's still cool. We have Ronnie, $5. Triple Nose's booking is at a glacial pace. The Chelsea versus Tiffany feud is sitting right there and should have started a month ago. Yeah, we talked about that, but I think that Chelsea is. I think it's due for her to turn babyface. I think it's due.
Yeah.
Williams Wrestling, $5. I saw Austin this week in Vancouver, British Columbia. Every show, super nice guy.
He's a great guy, man. He's a great guy, William.
Agreed. Vincitude, $4.99. Vince
Russo. Vince Russo. Speaking of Vince Russo,
you gotta go on a second. Do that again, man. Look like your dog.
Speaking of that, where is Cody Rhodes, man? Where is Cody? Can you imagine Austin losing his belt, getting screwed by a 125-pound rapper, and not seeing him for 6 weeks?
For being gone.
Unbelievable, man. Unreal.
We got Ray J's World, $5. Roxanne wants Dom. Disco is going to call Dom one lucky dude.
All right.
This is all you, Vince. I don't know what this
I
is.
don't know either. I don't know either. Rajay's World.
Disco is in Disco Inferno.
I guess so.
Okay. Why would he call Dom? Well, does he like Roxanne Perez?
Maybe he doesn't. I don't know it. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, there you go. Very nice. All right, Vince. We did it, man.
Oh,
we did it.
my God, man. I'm exhausted, bro. I am exhausted.
All right, let us know where you find it.
Guys, go get your free week of Russo's Brand. Help me out, bro. It is free. If you like it after that, it's only 75 cents a week. Go to patreon.com/Russo TWC.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. We also have we have Maurice 499. I acknowledge Vince Russo and Dr. Russo. I think Dr. Reed as a tribal chiefs of Raw reviews. Very nice. I think that's a bit of a
he meant Dr. Chris, bro.
Yeah. Kudos to you, Maurice.
Thank you, Maurice.
All right, awesome sauce, $2. Dopamine.
Dopamine.
That's good. That's good. All right. Yes, follow me at Chris Prolific and Pancakes and Power Slams. Lots of fun, man. Now that to your point, to your question, Chris, I talk about topical wrestling stuff and break it down into like actual psychology classes. And so last week I talked about the psychological effects of kratom, which was discussed within the Sabu stuff. There was a story a couple of weeks ago with Cora Jade when it came to body shaming. She was talking about that. And so I'm going to talk about the psychological effects of body shaming. That's the thing. I love talking about those topics because I don't have to talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
I talk about wrestling related stuff, but I do it from a psychological standpoint. I veer away from wrestling and talk psychology. And so that's the fun part of my show. So this guy is Vince Russo. This guy is Dr. Chris. This is the Legion of Raw. Have a good night, everybody. Solo.